Started
Sorry, can
now.
you say it again?
All right, we're started now. I mean, I can edit it out, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
gonna let you lead.
All right, so welcome to the first podcast, everybody. West Virginia Threes League. So we got a few things on our plate today. So it's the third week of the league. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about how the last 3 weeks went, and just an overview, a brief overview of each team so far, and then we will transition into the matches we had this week play, which were Legion versus Thieves and Breach versus Mutineers. And then we will talk about the matches next week, which is Optic versus Legion, and I believe Thieves versus Mutineers.
Yeah, Thieves for some
So
years.
yeah, that's going to be the kind of tentative schedule we're going to go on. And right now as it stands, the league rankings. We'll peep them real quick. I believe Thieves are the only undefeated team left, right?
I think so. Yeah, we're 3-0 map count.
Yes, sir. A 3-0 game count, right?
No, no, not that.
Well,
Unfortunately.
map count is 9-3 for Thieves. With the second place Boston Breach being 2-1, 6-4 map count. And then we have Mutineers, Optic, and Vegas. 4-5 for Mutineers, 4-6 for Optic, 1-6 for Vegas. So we're gonna start our first team here. We're gonna start with Breach. So the first match of the season was Breach versus Thieves, and obviously Seth competed in it and kind of fried everybody. So when you came out and played them, what was like your first thoughts on everything?
I was honestly expecting them to beat us. Like, not beat us, because the way our last scrim against them went, they kind of handed it to us. Given me and Chase just came back from the beach, but I know in the scrims prior to that, they played us like really tough. So I mean, I think we won 4-1 and just hard points. So we hadn't faced them in search or anything, but knowing
Yeah.
Wheezy and Wayne plays really weird in search, and Sean can do his thing. So I thought, like, I'm gonna have to give it my all. So for us to 3-0 them like we did, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah. I think the first map was Hydro in that, and you all won 250 to 129. Um, that's where I don't know exactly the map, but Shanghai Sean was born. An 8 and 23 map out of him. I think although Breach has played Hydro twice now, and they looked a whole lot better on it yesterday when they played the Mutineers, so maybe have some strides in that. And then Thieves Masterclass on the Embassy Search, and then Control. That first match was really just you and your boys kind of just frying them, so there really wasn't a whole lot to read into for that, I feel like.
um, Not too. I mean, that's us when we play like at our best, I would say. But I know like week in and week out, I expect to get everybody's best. Just how things go.
Especially in that search for Breach. Wheezy had an off map there, 3 and 6.
Yeah,
But
is that the only map he's went negative this year?
yes. He's one negative one map.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Got him. But yeah, it's the second week. They played my team, a hot 3-0. So one thing that kind of not, well, I guess worries and excites me about this Breach squad is that I don't necessarily think like they outslayed us by 23 in that Embassy hardpoint, but the scoreline was only 250 to 187. And I feel like if you're getting outslayed by 23 kills, you should be losing by a lot more than we did. And I think it says a lot about how Breach plays hardpoint more so than we play hardpoint.
Yeah, 'cause I know if they had played y'all on Albagger like yesterday, I think y'all beat them. 'Cause I mean, what that was Mince and Stevie's first time ever playing together, and playing with you for the first time in like 2 years or a year.
Yeah, I don't know. I think one of Breach's problems is that they aren't playing the game necessarily correctly, which is fine because like obviously Wayne's new to the scene and Sean hasn't played the game too much. So I really looking for Wheezy to kind of step up in IGL more, kind of direct them better because if you're outslaying by 23 kills, you should be winning like 250, 140, you know?
Yeah, I think so. I think he has stepped up a little bit more recently, but if I'm looking, If you look at say like compared to, I'd say Wheezy's a top three Slayer with me and you. If you even Mark, if you want to put him in that category, if you look at the hill time, our hill time is significantly more than his is, really.
Yeah.
Especially that
How
week,
much is
week 1 and 2.
yeah, he averages less than a minute of hill time in his hard points, which is it's not ideal to be honest. Now, granted, it's a little bit skewed because such a small sample size and everything. Like the first hard point where they got smoked, he only had 22 seconds, but still, um, a lack of hill time out of him is something I think probably he can improve moving forward. It's not a whole lot of things he can improve on, I feel like, so definitely nitpicking. We're not coming at you or anything, but
Yeah, no, he's definitely frying. Yeah, I think he has that,
yeah,
or he did. I think you have the highest KD, but he did have the highest KD. Like he's
coming
frying.
into the week. Yeah, for sure. And then we'll go on to my squad next. Again, we kind of went over the Breach series a little bit, and we'll go into the other series later. We'll just take a look at the stats real quick. Um, so I'm coming in with I have a 1.78 overall KD. Menske has a point 0.5 and Steve has a 0.56. So what do you think I should be doing in terms of getting them up to par to where they should be?
Um, for you, honestly, I would just take him into hard points. Like try to get him on once a week, or just for an hour, and just literally go over hard points, and then practice. Like I know my team, we did this once, but we need to do it more because our hard points isn't as good as it can be. But just get them on, and then go through like a simulation, and just have them practice rotating, and getting to where they need to be. I mean, it's not like, I mean, you think of
Yeah,
football, Fridays before a game, you're running through without any pads on. You're just going through the motions. So if you, I mean, that any sport you can do that and get better.
it's true. Thank you for the tip. But let's take a look at the. I think we play. I think we're a good hardpoint team. I think we play hardpoint well. We're a terrible control team. I need to get Stevie on the same page with me as that. And search. Well, we've had two search maps, so
I think just 'cause your skill and mind and the way, like, credit to Mince and Stevie 'cause they listen, y'all might be like a top search team, like easy. Just 'cause we'll get into it later, but yesterday was just kind of crazy.
we'll transition over to the squad. Um, we already talked about you and Boston Breach playing. Let's talk about your match versus Optic Texas, because that probably was the match of the year so far. Granted, only 3 weeks in, but still, that was probably the match of the year so far.
Dude, that match was just stress, honestly. We let's look at what map one. They won 250 to 212 on Embassy, I believe.
Yep,
From
that's what
my
it says.
perspective on that, we were just timely kills. Like I was frying. Chase, he had a little slow. Bert had a little slow, but it was just really timely kills if you watch it. Because there was many times like we would have wiped, and then I would get killed, and then it just like domino effect. And it was just, I don't know. It was kind of chaotic the whole series with Bert's dog and everything going on. But
Yeah.
they played us tough.
And I mean, that first map, you all got outslayed by 15 kills and still were able to get over the 200 point mark. So again, I think that's good. Y'all are playing the game the right way. You're over a minute in hill, so and that first SND round 11. Walk me through that real quick.
The round 11 or the S&D? Because I know we started out, I think, down three straight
Yep.
rounds. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I don't
I didn't
know.
get to watch that one.
Yeah, well, we started. It seems to be a trend right now. We start until we win a round, we're just losing like constantly. I think, except outside of the Breach series, versus Optic, we went down 0-3 in the first map, or 0-2, 0-3, and then 0-3 in the second, and then yesterday we went down 0-4. So it's like we have to get around, or our momentum is just kind of total. I mean, I know we were shell shocked coming out of that hard point,
Yeah.
but Going into that round 11, it was kind of nerve-wracking because if we lose, we go down 0-2, and then we're going into control that we almost lost to Breach. So, and we know the firepower Optic has.
Well, could have been a 3-0 out of Optic, but squeaked away with that round 11. And then a CeeLo control, uh, when game five, no, sorry, round five, Optic take it. And then y'all seem like a really good Hydro team so far. Um, 2-0 on it. You ended up beating Optic 250, 206. Let me check out the stats. Um, it looks like you got outslayed on that map and you still won. Honest, yeah, you got outslayed on that map and you were still able to pull out with a win. So I think again, I think that's a great sign. You had 100 seconds on the time. Bert always 143. He's good for that, bro.
Nah, Bert, he may not have the gunny, but being on hill, he is literally the best in the league. But I think we're gonna be a team when we play those teams that have like Breach. Even you guys, I think we might have got outslayed yesterday. We're gonna get outslayed. That's gonna happen. Just because we really won't have like I don't mean to be that, but we have one Slayer really. Chase can slay. He has a potential, and Bert's just an OBJ guy. But I feel like that we thrive in that. Like just we play the game really smart to where we don't have to outslay teams like that. We just we know the objective is to get on hill.
Yeah. So I think I'm looking at Bert's stats right here for that specific match. He didn't get more than 8 in the map. So I know he's doing a lot of the OBJ work, but kind of an off series from Bert still at the same time. But y'all won the Embassy 6-5. Chase just permanently up in top windows.
Yeah, we that one came down to timely kills really. So I think we started 0 and 3, and we kind of get our composure back. And once we got around, we felt good. I know Bert had that crazy 1v1 versus Hank in round 9 or 10. And in round 11, it came down to killing TJ and killing Hank with like 5 seconds left on the bomb. Bert had a big first blood, and it's just playing together as a team, really. Because, I mean, it's just crazy, to be honest, kind of the series that we've had.
Talked to TJ, and I know he was in the chat too, talking about how that definitely could have been a 3-0 and how they kind of choked it. So that's when they'll want back, but they can't get back until a few weeks from now. But
I mean,
we'll move on to Mutineers.
if you want to say it was a 3-0 that way, it could have been a 3-0 the other way, too. So, because
Oh,
every map
very
was
true, very
close.
true. Yeah, yeah. But I honestly like probably this series was good. This series was good too. I think it's had two very good series. Mutineers, all their players have around a this is just like what you kind of expected out of them, right? All Mutineers players 0.89, 0.91, 0.9. That's their overall KDs.
Yeah, I mean, I could expect that. I kind of expected Weed to have a 1. Because I know, like, in
Yeah.
previous years, he'd have a 1. And Lane being voted the top 6 player, you'd expect him to kind of have over a 1. So you kind of wonder what's going on. Like, they have no true Slayer, but they're really scrappy.
It's like kind of just that's why I think our Legion squad will do good against this Mutineer team because I don't think that respectfully there's not like somebody that like I'm like super looking out for on the map. Like I'm not hunting you or Wheezy. Well, I am hunting you and Wheezy. I'm not gonna hunt Weed, Lane, or Humor. We're gonna play like try to play as a team together against them. I think that's how to beat them. You can't try to be a superstar against that team.
Nah, because they're strong everywhere. They don't have a weak. They don't have a, like, superstar, but they don't have a weak link.
Yeah. And I mean that first star point they got outslayed by a lot of kills, lost by 89 points, and then they got fried in the search. And we all kind of thought that the series is over at that point, but
Oh,
Weed showing a championship mentality
that was the Optic
coming
series,
out next map.
correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I picked Mutineers to win 3-2, but once they went down and lost that search 6-1. I mean, that search was really close. It shouldn't have been a 6-1 at all. But I thought it was chalked, to be honest. I thought they were done.
Yeah.
But they
And
showed
then
resolve.
we'll kind of touch on the optic side of it. in this series specifically, at the beginning of it, Tej played well that first hard point, 23 and 16. The search he played iffy 3 and 5, and then the control just kind of dropped off, went 8 and 25.
Yeah, that was not an ideal series from TJ. That actually, I don't think I've ever seen him play that bad ever.
I don't think anybody was expecting that, and then he went -9 on the hard point, and then map or round, not round 5, map 5. Lane just kind of went off, and that's what kind of like we were expecting Lane to do. He should be a top 6 player going 11 and 5 and really carrying the team that map. I think is what you need out of him, really.
Yeah, he
And
definitely needs to
then
step up. One thing, TJ only went positive one one map in that series. That's kind of crazy.
and the crazier part is his overall KD is still above a 1.0, so he bounced back very well against you all, I feel like.
Oh yeah, he always wants to play good against me, so I expect that.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that'll kind of wrap up our overview of the last few weeks, and we can get into we'll get into Breach and Mutineers first. So I know map one we had some audio issues and weren't able to get some audio going. Um, but I believe Wayne did really well that map, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Wayne popped off in that series. I think he went 36 and 21 on the Embassy Hardpoint.
He did. With 144 seconds. That is massive.
Yeah,
So he was definitely the MVP of that map.
yeah, outslaying Wheezy. If they can outslay or beat teams with him outslaying Wheezy, they're going to be very difficult. Because I remember during scrims,
Yeah.
part of the reason why I thought coming into our series with him is going to be really tough. He popped off on Hydro, like went like 30 and 12, and I was just like, this is going to be crazy trying to play this team.
Oh yeah. And we'll look at the stats again real quick in that map one for the embassy.
Yeah,
It looks like
Shanghai Sean
Shanghai Shark.
disappeared.
Yeah. No, no, I'm talking about the Mutineers. He 18 and 29 with 42 seconds.
Okay, maybe there was a little appearance that game, but
But I mean like Breach outslayed by about 13 and they only won by 30, which isn't terrible, but still like I feel like moving forward Breach is definitely going to have to tighten up and play a little bit more disciplined. I didn't and again, I didn't exactly watch the match and all it can come down to is just like one money hill and all the different kind of stuff and that's just how the slaying goes, but I feel like it's going to be a continuing problem for this Breach squad.
yeah, I know that game there was Mutineers left probably 30 to 45 seconds of just scrap time. Like they would all, for some reason, all three rotate off a hill to new. When had they
Hmm.
just kept one person there, it would have probably been a 10 to 15 point game and definitely put stress on Breach where they weren't stressed at all, probably. I mean, it came down to the
Yeah.
last hill, but you kind of know usually when, oh, we just have
Hmm.
to get 5 seconds. And we
Yeah,
went,
Wayne went huge. I didn't even peep it, bro. He had the most kills, least amount of deaths, and the most hill time on his team.
yeah, if he's playing like that, they're going to be really tough to beat. Especially with Wheezy doing what he does. And if Shanghai Shan, I mean, he made an appearance, but I
Yeah.
mean, just Wayne
He-
and Wheezy were too much.
Yeah. And then map two, I watched that just recently. Um, they were Breach was up 3-1, and then Mutineers won five straight against them. And I specifically remember a few plays that I just did not like out of Breach. So early on, they were just playing really well. They were frying, and then I think it was the 3-1 round. Weezy is picked mid-map. Um, and then Wayne has like he goes through mid and like kind of clears B out, and then instead of like wrapping to B and trying to get a bomb plant, they just both go to A when they know the other team is at A. So I really didn't understand that play too much, and I don't know what the call was out of that, but like I think they kind of just lost full after that and lost every single round.
Yeah, I definitely sense that team has composure. Because you think what happened to us? They lost. I think it was the quickest series yet. They lost two quick maps, and then it was a quick 3-0. You know. So if that team gets beat, you kind of wonder who's gonna step up and take control.
Weezy, I love him, but he's not necessarily known for that, being a vocal leader. So throughout the season, I think he'll get better at it. But I know from time to time he can lose full pretty quick. One thing I would like to point out, though, I guess we're highlighting Breach a lot here, but they only had one plant in all their offensive rounds. And on a map like Mercado, like you got to get the bomb down more than once, I feel like. And we'll check out the Mutineers real quick.
I'm looking.
Um,
The
yeah,
Breach only have three plants on the year.
really?
Yeah, total.
Yeah, that's not going to be something that they'll be able to continue to do moving forward. That's going to be good for them. I mean, it worked out. Oh, see,
Yo, literally,
the S&D
Mints.
they won, they had two plants.
Yeah, Mints has more plants in just the first series than their entire team. He had three plants the first series, and he had five against us yesterday. So he's literally almost tripling their plants that team has.
Like, and it's just like that. That's not going to be a strategy that's going to win in the long term. And I don't even know if Breach realizes this, but that's something I think they're going to have to talk about because players like Wheezy, who've been playing for a very long time, when bomb gets down, they know how to play S&D correctly, and you're going to be able to make those clutch plays time and time again if bomb's down. But if you don't get bombed down, it makes it a little bit harder for you.
Yeah, because it puts pressure on the other team. And no, Wheezy's when bombs down, that's not the guy you want to face. So I mean, it makes me think about the in-game leader thing. Like he has to tell them to put bomb down. You know?
Like, and compared to a Weed masterclass, he went 10 and 5 with three plants and one defuse. So
Yeah,
he
weed
definitely
popped
stepped
off.
up. And that's the kind of weed we were expecting, you know?
Yeah, that's the guy that we had at Vanguard that can when he plays the game. I think if they really start grinding, weed can be better than Lane if he plays the game, and he can be that slayer. Because we saw it against
He's two
the
stars, you know?
championship. Yeah, we definitely saw it in the
I think
championship against Casey and Mitch when I had a down map. I mean, a down map to my standards, but weed popped off. So like he definitely has that ability.
him stepping up and again, I think Mutineers is like going to be a lot better of a search team than our respawn team. But having having them for getting three plants down, just playing sound S&D, I think that's really important. I think that's a big part why Breach lost, to be honest with you.
Oh, it definitely is. Looking at the Mutineers, I hate to give them ideas because they're playing us next, but I think they can adopt some from us, like the team, because they're gonna be a team that might get outslayed in games. So if they can just prioritize getting Hill, that we didn't see a lot yesterday in the hard points, because they were around while they're getting outslayed, but they're not getting Hill time like they can be.
I think the more that Weeb plays, I think the better the squad will be. And Maxi, I mean, we haven't talked a whole lot about him yet, but he's just very consistent. I mean, he's going to be like within like I feel like five neg, five pause. Now that I'm looking at the stats, he went double or went neg 10 the last two maps. So there goes my talking point, I guess.
But I mean, he is definitely one of the most consistent players. If you look at the series he had against Optic, he was positive except for the two maps that they lost, and he was barely negative in those maps. So like he's definitely gonna be right around even. You know what you're gonna get from him.
If he can give you a point 0.9, we just need Weed and Lane to just bump you up to like a 1.0, 1.1. And that's kind of what we saw in the control out of Lane.
Yeah, 41.
Um, yeah, huge kills out of him. Unfortunately, they lost. Maxi having a little bit of an off map, neg 10, but Wheezy's very hard to play against on a CeeLo control. He's a rat, simply put. There's a lot of corners and crevices you can put yourself in, especially when you're spawn trapping. And I think that's where probably he got most of the kills at. I didn't tune in too much,
Yeah,
but
he was in their spawn a lot. He was playing OBJ a lot more. I'm pretty sure because I know we played him and we took him 3-2 and beat him, but he was just in our spawn. Whereas I think yesterday he was actually coming to the objective. And he was kind of playing mid map a lot and just running back and forth. And 37 and 16, that's kind of crazy. Or no, 44 and 29. That's insane. 44 on LSDLO with a
yeah,
sub.
not that's not something you see every day.
With a sub, like that's crazy.
Yeah, only 29 deaths too. I like that.
He was in their spawn and then just he was everywhere.
And I mean, that's when he plays like that, this is why I think this team like has a whole bunch of upside. Like, especially like Wayne, he had a fantastic hard point. Played he went 7 and 6 in the search, which is like decent still. He had a plant. But I feel like if Sean can just give like a point 8 or 9, and Wayne give a point like a 1.0 consistently, like Weezy's gonna have a 1.5. Like that's what he's gonna do. So I feel like once they get there, once Sean brings his point 8 up to a point 9, I feel like they'll be really hard to beat.
Yeah, but I mean it comes down to the hard points too, because I think he had a 1-5 against us and they got 3-0'd. So I mean he's still gonna have to. In-game leader is gonna have to step up, because when you're playing like not necessarily y'all, because I think out of all teams they kind of outmatch y'all because they have three really good, if you know what I mean.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
then like they're kind of like an optic build. They have three players that are they're gonna perform, and they have a superstar on the team. So I mean,
That's why they're my favorites to win the whole thing is like it's gonna be Mens and Steve will have to step up a lot if we want to beat this Breach squad because I think I'm better than Weezy this game. Um, but I mean he's still Weezy. He can still kill me at any point. So like he's gonna be able to trade me out pretty consistently. So like I just need them to trade him out more, and I think it's the same situation you're in too.
yeah, if I can, Bert's amazing on hill, but if I can get him to start slaying a little more and Chase to get playing like he was week one, you saw how easy,
Hmm.
even against Wheezy's team, you saw how easy
Yeah,
that series was. Whereas when Bert's not
the last
getting
2 weeks.
over 10 kills in a map in a series, it's kind of tough. And then Chase is going
Yeah.
negative.
I
It's
think
really
Bert
difficult.
sometimes in hardpoint bursts worry too much about the objective sometimes.
Yeah, I remember
Like,
on Embassy there was one point during the optic, the map we lost. I got killed and he was shooting the trophy when TJ was pushing in. I mean, objective he's great, but if he starts slaying, it's really he's we're really gonna be dangerous. Like even
yeah,
more so. But I mean, he's the best OBJ player in the league by far. Time
yeah,
wise, he hasn't gone over 143 seconds in a map, which is kind of nuts.
yeah.
But yeah, we're back
And
to breach.
yes, sir. Map 4, and again, I absolutely hate to bring it up again, but they went plus 20 against this Mutineer squad, and they only won by 47 points. If I feel like if we're out like if my team is outslaying by 120 or by 20 kills, like we're smoking teams, right?
Yeah, if you
I feel
guys
like they're not
outslice like that.
capitalizing on a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they outslayed us, but what we what was the score that we beat them? I know the slang was close. It had to be close, but it was like 250 to 129. We beat them.
Yeah.
So like, if they're gonna play the more superstar teams, which we've only seen them play. Well, they played you, but that was your first series, so I'm kind of discluding that. But like, if when they play Optic, if they don't play Hardpoint right, they might get buried.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm looking at the math right here. When they played Jewel, just for reference, let me do the math real quick. You all outslayed them by 15 kills, right? You
Oh, in that
outslayed them by
first hard point?
15 kills. Yeah, on Hydro. You outslayed them by 15 kills, and the score difference was 121 points. Breach outslayed the Mutineers um, by 20 kills, which is five more than you all, but the score line was only 47. So again, same map and everything. I think that's like I think they're fundamentally just like I haven't watched it, so I can't speak on it too much, but just by the numbers, they're just not playing the game as good as they could be, which is scary because the kills are there.
Yeah.
So like once they figure it out, I think it's gonna be because Weezy's obviously really good, but he hasn't played this game like he hasn't grinded it a whole bunch. So like I'm not putting like all the blame on him, but
I mean, kind of, I'm going to touch on that real quick for us. Yeah, we'll probably get into it later, but just real quick. If we're outslaying a team by 15 kills, we're going to bury him. Because Bert's going to be on hill the whole game. And you're not getting him off.
exactly.
And that's just all I was going to say for that. Because if they can get to where they're just having someone on time the whole game and figuring out rotations and how to hold them, they're going to be dangerous. Like, super dangerous.
Hmm.
And Wayne, like, you have Wheezy popping a 1-5, but if Wayne's going to be dropping 36 and 21 with a minute 44, if they can get that. So they did that 36 and 21. Wheezy was 33 and 24, and they only won by 30 points. It came down to the last two.
Yeah,
That can't happen.
I agree. It's something that they're gonna have to fix moving forward. I mean, again, they fried us, but we're being harsh on them because I think they can be the best team in the league. Weezy knows that.
Oh, I think they
Um,
can too. I picked them.
but
I
I
think I
mean,
put them above us in the first.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
they
like
didn't in
they
scrims. They didn't have that problem against us at the time. So I
yeah,
don't know. Maybe they were had an in-game leader then, or were just
it's
rotating. I don't
something
know
they'll
what
have
it
to
is.
like they played us, and obviously they fried us. But again, that was our first week, and that was my first time spawning in with them too at the same time. So, um, but Breach, too much firepower. Mutineers, solid like point nines all around, I guess, for the entire series. Lane showed up one of the maps. You want him to show up more than that, honestly. Like he had a really good control, and then outside of that, neg 12, double negative, neg 6 with only 43 seconds. That's not what you want to see.
Yeah, you do not want to see that at all.
Not a single person on Mutineers went positive that last map.
Yeah, that they're not gonna
And
win if that's happening.
yeah. And I mean like they got close, I guess, but like, you know, they still eclipsed the 200 point mark
And that's
while
credit to
going
them though. They play
negative.
the game right.
Yeah.
They just don't slay like they can. I like that.
Yeah. Lane has to step up, especially in the respawns, I feel like. Or especially in the hard points, obviously he's controlled it well. But at hard points he's gonna have to step up.
Yeah, and he
I
has the
think
talent to do that because there's been maps. I know it's been on hotel like twice, and that's the map I just hate. But there's been times where he's slayed up close to like what we're doing, so he can do that.
Mhm. Well, either way, it was a great matchup. All the maps were pretty much close, so we'll move we'll segue if it's good with you to our match.
Yeah, I actually have it pulled up right now. I'm in to transition somewhat smoothly to have
We
it
love
pulled
to
up.
see that. That's great chemistry.
But
Just let me know when you're good.
yeah, we're good. We're good.
So let's walk through the bans real quick. So obviously we banned Hydro Hardpoint. Mince does not like it.
Yeah, I don't
So
think that would have been good for y'all, to be honest.
yeah, and I know you all are good at it. When Mince was referring, was like talking about the maps, which ones we should ban and protect. He refers to Hydro as the water map, so he's obviously not super familiar with it.
To the water,
So
man. That's crazy.
yeah, that first map though, the Mercado Hardpoint, that's one that I was really excited about. Um,
You were excited or you weren't?
I was. I really like Mercado. Um,
I can say
but
the
we kind of
same
just
for
came out
map
flat.
4.
Yeah, it was kind of flipped. That's when we talked about it beforehand. When we picked the hard points, we were like, who could have guessed that?
Yeah, that was we like flipped the switch on each other.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say it's an excuse, but I did work 8 hours and then went straight on the game to load in against SethyBravo. And I know you didn't get warm either, but
Yeah, that whole
you know,
stream.
it definitely I feel like affected me a tiny bit.
I um I think the maps, like the more I'm learning, like my team last stage, Albagra was our best map. But I think it's in this league with the talent, you really gotta see how the maps play to your skill sets. Cause Albagra, like Mercado, I was able to get space and have time
Yeah.
to run and have Burt in hill and have Chase in high positions and on headies. Whereas Albagra, where we might outslay teams if I'm doing everything I can and Chase is playing. Albagra is just so many engagements. It's hard because
Mhm.
we're just getting like we can't. Bert's good, he can shoot, but we can't protect him like we can on other maps on hill. If
Yeah.
that makes sense, because y'all are just spawning everywhere and you're dropping
hmm
50, breaking in, and Mince and Stevie are playing.
Mercado is definitely a map where you can push out lanes very easily. And that's why I like it because I do that quite a bit.
And
But you were definitely doing it better than I was.
yeah, and the spawns. Like every spawn, I pretty much had an idea or could check like where you guys were, and we were communicating really well. So I feel like that definitely played a part. And if you watch back, like we were rotating at 30 seconds, or I was, and then they would follow. So we were just working really good together on that map.
On uh on Barber P3, the map was like I'm not gonna say it was close then, but like it was no, sorry. What's no Barber's P3, right? No,
I don't
P4.
know. I know what you're
Barber's
talking about
P4.
though,
Yeah,
because it was close
Barber's
from the get.
P4.
Like we were
It was
even.
sort of close, and I'm telling Ment and Stevie to rotate. I'm not gonna exp I'm gonna expose our comms right here, and they both rotated to green, um, which was not the next hard point. So
Oh
we were a
God.
little bit late on breaking there because of that, and I feel like that's where it kind of spiraled out of control, and then you all just got P6 and P7 back to back, and then it was over.
Yeah, if you, Mercado's one of those maps. If you don't rotate, or if you rotate wrong and the other team gets set up, if you can't break it, you're gonna get bullied. Especially getting them chained like that. That map's.
hmm
Well, I think week one, Optic versus Florida. Optic had a huge lead just because they did literally just that. They out rotated them and then just held it, and it was just like they had no chance.
think I think the most important hill, regardless of like map or anything in this game, I think the most important hill is P6 on Mercado because you can chain 120 so easily on it because P6 is hard to break it already on its own. But if
That's
you
the
get like
top,
three
right?
down, yeah, top green.
And then you,
Um,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
if you get three down, you can just segue to the next hard point and get God hitting control, have somebody on hill, and then somebody holding back alley. It's just that's like it can be a free 120 sometimes for teams. So like that's why I feel like it's the most important hill in the game.
I mean, y'all literally almost did it to us because we had 180 and we locked on P6, and then y'all locked down pretty much all of P7. So if y'all had locked on P6, it's a completely different game.
Yeah. No, I think that's why it's the most important for sure. But you know, we live and we learn. Embassy map two
Oh
is
God.
something that might be fun to talk about. At least for me, because well, I finally had a teammate go positive.
Hell yeah.
Stevie gave me 7 and 6, and the unsung hero of the match, Mence. We planted the bomb. I think every single offense. No, all but one. All but one, I think.
Jeez.
And Mence having 5 plants is huge. We really didn't know what we were doing on the offenses too much. Like on B, like I was like, Steve, like watch their back alley, and then he pushed up like past the bomb to watch it, and I was like, oh, it's not exactly what I meant, but like
It
once we
worked.
get bombed down, this is what I was thinking with like the whole Wheezy situation, is like if you can get bombed down on a map, like players like me, you, Wheezy, like 1v2, 1v3 with bomb down,
Yeah, it's
like
doable.
against like even against Crimson level players, it's doable.
Yeah, like
Like
it's very doable. You just have to literally just check bomb every few seconds from a weird angle.
exactly. And I Marshall's bread and butter on search this year was Embassy Search. And I watched you all play it. In that very first round, I knew I could get through like under the windows where Chase was if I
Oh
sent
yeah.
Steve like if I sent Steve up top because you'd have been distracted by Steve for a little bit, so you couldn't check it. So I just had to time it right.
On that kill, like I'm not making an excuse, but I am. That was one of the ones where the stuttering, cause like I
Yeah.
was shooting you and you weren't looking at me, and you just turned on me, and I was like, what the hell? And it kind
I'm
of
like
checked me, but
yeah. I'm like 99% sure Steve had to put a bullet or two in you.
dude,
The
cause
casters
I
didn't
got
catch it,
deleted. Like I didn't know what.
but
I
like
was just,
I might have put one or two bullets in you. So Steve 100% had to have shot you.
dude, I was like astonished, cause I you weren't even look. I was
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell just
hmm
happened? And
And
then
I think that's probably what happened. And then I think you anticipated that second round, so like you thought we were just gonna go B off start, which is a fair guess. But I was like, all right, we're gonna hit A quick, kind of throw him off.
well, I figured y'all would go A, so I had like I
hmm
think I had Bert watch A, but something happened. Dude, I just feel that whole map like we were like even the first we're just overthinking because we know like how smart of a player you are,
hmm
and we knew you were gonna have them in spots, and we were just thinking like whereas the other maps we were just like, all right, get bomb down, do what we do, you know. We were thinking so hard, and I think that was our downfall. We tried to counter.
That my my thing was like once that first round ended, and like I showed that like we can hit routes and timings because on with threes you can't cover every single route to
Yeah,
B.
you can't at all. It's hard. Whereas fours, you
And
can
so
literally shut everything down.
I was just like if I come out and like we punch them like and hard stuff in the B first round, I was like they're not gonna like super fast hit it until later. Like we're gonna slow them down a little bit. So like that was like my entire thought process with like hard countering B first round was like if we can just stop it once, it'll like kind of get in your all's head, and I guess it worked.
No, it definitely
And then
worked because we went down
round
0-4.
round three, I had a little 1v3 action,
I don't
and
even know what happened on that, to be honest.
um I was sitting in front of the bathroom. Um, I killed somebody was trying to cross Xbox. I killed him, and then you were mantling on top of the van as I like started to shoot you,
Oh,
or
I
you or
think I got a
somebody
few
else was.
shots on you, and then you killed me.
Yeah, you did. I just literally just unlucky timing. Like I just caught you mantling on the van,
Yeah, and then
and then I played that 1v1 against Shay, and he played cubby corner for some reason. Like after he planted on A, like he planted for back alley and then played cubby corner.
I'm trying to think.
So I wasn't.
Where's Cubby Corner?
So it's like a. So think of the A bomb site, right?
Yeah.
You know that little van right beside of it, like where that has the ladder on the back end of it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like he played that with an AR, and I was just like, I
Yeah, I
think he
think he was just
misplayed that a little
nervous.
bit.
I mean, hearing you're in a
Yeah,
1v1 versus you is like probably one of the top three worst things you can hear in the league. So
thank you, I
he was
appreciate
probably
that.
shaking.
And because I at the end of the day, I knew you all were a better team than us, so I'm like, all right, we just gotta go up early, quick. And that's kind of like,
Nah,
I'm
you
like,
punched us in the
we'll
mouth.
get us a round or two later.
Yeah, you
We also
punched
got
us in the
blessed
mouth.
that my streak didn't get called in, by the way.
Dude, when I saw the streak, you still had it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was so pissed.
hmm Well, I was like, on that round, I was playing a 50-50 because I knew like if you all didn't hot bomb right away, like I won the round. Chase was dead already. You had no trophy. But if you all hopped it right away, I lose a streak, and I was like, I'll take that risk. I don't care.
Yeah, we were
It
kind
worked
of.
out well for me.
That's what I kind of thought you were gonna expect, cause knowing you, I
Yeah,
feel like you thought we were just gonna try to like, all right, let's find Alex. We gotta get him. We gotta get him. Whereas I
yeah.
was like, Bert, just hop bomb. I'll try to protect you, pretty much.
That's exactly what happened too. That's exactly what happened. I was like, they're just gonna hump me.
Yeah,
So
but
he
it
outplayed
worked.
me on that one.
Then we heard the no, we heard the
Mm,
cruise, and we were like, yes, yeah. Well, we were pumped, and then we heard you call it in later
yeah.
in the game. We were like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So yeah, it was demoralizing hearing you call the
Yeah.
cruise in later after we
And
thought it
then,
had been
well,
wasted.
I was like, I don't know if they know I have it or not, but either way, like, if you kill a trophy player on search, like, that's why keeping tabs on the trophy player is like, I think like something all teams should do. Because like, once we killed Shay, I'm like, all right, I can just literally go hide in the corner and just call my streak in and stall time after we plant bomb.
I think Bert was the one running. Yeah, Bert runs the trophy in search.
Oh, well, then I'm stupid then, I guess.
Uh-huh. But no, I just watched that play where you killed me when I was mantling.
Yeah.
If I had not mantled, oh my god, like literally. And then oh yeah, Chase played cubby corner. Did you stick him on that? I think
I stunned him. I threw my nade first and then stunned because I knew he had battle hardened on.
it looks like
So
you
like to
shot
slow
him
him down for
once
half a
maybe.
second. I like got 2 hit markers on him, so the nade killed him.
Yeah, because we were like live, we didn't see
Yeah.
the shots come in, so we were like, how the hell did he
Hmm.
die? But I mean,
Yeah.
playing an AR, and like he was shitting himself, 100%.
Yeah.
Like there's no
Yeah.
beating
He
around
had
the
to have
bush.
been. And the control is something.
Wait, in that search, dude, we almost came back.
You did.
We
You
got
did.
four, and we were like, all right, if we can just win this next round, and I forgot how it went, but I think someone snuck
We,
around the
we went
back.
up. We went up. We went up 5-3.
Dude, on that one round, when you came around the back,
I
I
got you.
literally check it, and it was just you were there way faster than anyone else had got. So I didn't expect, but
I knew that if because Wentz had told me like you were playing back there a lot, and so I was just like, all right, like Wentz obviously slow plays with the sniper, so I just got to get back there before he sees me, and that's what happened. So I was just and I don't know. That's kind of like a good thing about like watching you all play so much,
yeah,
compared to
you
like you
probably
only
could
having one
guess
map against us.
where we were for the whole. So
Yeah.
yeah, we got some things in the
And
works because
hmm
we know if we can just open the map up a little bit,
yeah.
that's
And that's one thing I wanted to emphasize too. Like when we played it, I'm like, look, like even though like people are gonna watch us play this after, like we did not we gave a whole bunch of different looks. So like and we gave an A look once and a mid look. Like we gave a whole bunch of different looks, especially on like offense. I feel like
yeah. We literally like every other team was
I meant
predictable.
on defense. Sorry.
Every other team we knew it was gonna do, but like I knew playing you, it's search and destroy is a different challenge playing you. Even if Mincer is just chess
Yeah.
and just I don't know. We thought we overthought it, and sometimes we didn't
All
stick
it
to our
takes sometimes.
guns, but sometimes when we did, y'all just countered it, and
Yeah.
it's I'm kind of glad that happened. Like I'm really
Oh
glad
yeah.
because now we can look back on it and see where we went wrong, how you broke us, what our weaknesses are, how we're gonna different routes, different strats, So, I mean, I'm glad to lose. Losing is a lesson.
Learning is losing.
So
So
I mean, y'all
I
played
think
us some.
we play we'll get in that later, but map three, I went 30-9 and we lost 0-3. Um
Yeah, that was the stuttering map for me. But that no, like I know I sound like a bitch, but I was raging that whole map. That control, like I think I dropped 2 kills in the first round, but you
Either
were
way.
in our cheeks for sure.
I mean, on offense, that can just happen, bro, where you just go 3 down and it's just whatever, especially on like if you're capping B on hotel because they spawn Shandy.
Oh yeah.
But like, I mean, 30-9 to lose is kind of tough. Stevie, there's a few times there was miscommunications where like I wanted to stack or wanted him in a certain spot and we didn't get him there. So I think like our control, like he's not used to playing control and it's definitely like a weird game mode for a newcomer. So I think that'll be a learning curve for him.
Yeah, control. I mean, yeah, you just gotta. He'll have to learn and just listen to you because it's literally just teamwork for the most part. And just well, 4v4s. It's more teamwork, and 3v3s, but it's like wipe three and just stack. It's really I hate control to be honest. I loved it on Cold War and I loved it on Vanguard, but this game for some reason I just hate it because it's just sound horde the whole time.
It's annoying. I can't even sound hardly.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But I feel like there's not too much to talk about on the control, you know?
yeah. Bert stepped up huge, and Chase the first round I think had 8. I know the
Yeah, he
second
did.
round I had a 10 streak. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the casters are calling you out.
Yeah. Yeah, they do that, and then everyone who gets called out dies, like literally right after.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, Seth just nervous to play Alex? Goes
Oh
on a
my.
10 kill streak. Like, okay, thanks, casters.
Yeah, they always got to do something. It's just how it
Yeah.
goes.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like the last map of the year so far.
Oh my gosh.
Um, I wasn't like the biggest choke ever. We kind of choked it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Um, I walked through the first rotation. It was like what we were down by 3 going into the second rotations.
I think so. I don't know how we won that. Cause like
Ah,
it was just timely
ah,
kills, and then y'all hopped on us big. I know the last rotation on P1, Chase said his headset died, so we like had no comms. And we somehow held that down and rotated and then rotated, and then Chase had the biggest kill of the game on you, other than the one I had on Stevie. But
bro. I
we
didn't
had
see him,
we
bro.
had no comms, and I don't know how or why he turned,
He must have
but
heard me.
no, he didn't have his headset, so he said he was just
Oh
looking,
shit.
like looking back, and he just saw the glimpse of
Yeah.
you, and you
I
would have
watched it
flanked
back
us.
and like I watched it back and I saw like I on my screen I saw him, but I didn't see him when I was playing. So
Yeah,
like if I saw him, I could get that kill
yeah,
and
y'all win.
I at least put bullets into you. Yeah. So
No,
it's
you would
just
have
like
won because Stevie had me.
yeah,
He shot me. Like I didn't. I anticipated him being up top because I think Bird called it
yeah,
out, but I didn't expect him to chow me like that, like at that angle. It was a weird angle he chowed me
yeah.
at.
And I don't know. And over the maps 2, 3, and 4. Oh my gosh, bro. Maps 2, 3, and 4. I went 93 and 37. And over the last 3 maps, 93 and 37.
That's insane.
Is that the most kills in a what's it called so far? Nah, Wheezy probably got me beat with his series in the Mutineers. He
Yeah, we
probably had over
gotta do
100.
that because I know. I mean,
Yeah.
as well, I had 37 the first or 30 something. The first 36 and 20. No, 39 and 15 the first Mercado. So,
Yeah,
but
you
then
had
I
a
kind of
lot.
slowed down. I kind of just like I was only good for hard points yesterday.
Yeah.
But you were
That's all you need
you were
sometimes.
annoying to play against. And then Mince and Stevie were playing really well.
Yeah.
Like they were just in
Steve, 20,
places.
25 and 32. I'll take that any day of the week, bro.
Yeah, they were. I think any other team you play on that map yesterday, you beat. To be honest,
I think so too.
like
I
that's
mean,
my opinion. But
we outslayed by 10, I think, and we lost. I think you all held P3 pretty well, if I remember correctly.
yeah, I think we were holding P3. I know one of the times y'all held P3 really well. But I think what Chase went 30 and 34. I'll have that, but the 35 seconds, I don't like that. But I mean, that's kind of what he's been doing. And then Bert had the, his hill time, the highest of the year, 177 seconds. But if we could just get
That's
his
why, like,
slaying up a little more, I think like we're gonna be like hard to beat, like extremely hard to beat.
when I feel like we found success when we had, because you can put Bird on the hill and that's it, right? I feel like we found a lot of success when I just stuck Mintz and Steve on the hill. Like I think we're going to be a team that's going to have two people in the hill at all times, kind of thing.
Yeah, I know I hop in
Like,
hill a lot. That's why
yeah,
my KD is not going to be as high. I'd like to do dirty work,
yeah.
but
I've been doing that occasionally.
no, I don't know. It's just my play style. Like even on Vanguard, get in hill. Like I hate not having hill time, and I feel like I'm really good at anticipating
Hmm.
spawns. So I mean, it's just my play. Like where Wheezy doesn't get on hill, it's just different play styles.
I think so. I think Weezy has 57 average. I'm looking at the least amount of time. I think I have seven, the second least. You have 87 of Chase has 37 of hill time, bro.
Yeah, whereas what he
Up
was
on the
like,
point.
he was second highest last stage. So I feel like if we start getting him on hill a little more too, maybe, or his slaying up, one of the two. Like they what week one, his slaying was up, and you saw what we did, right? And his hill time was up a little bit week one.
Yeah,
So I mean, if we get him on hill a little more and slaying a little more and kind of take the hill,
yeah. I think he does. Even as an AR, 37 seconds isn't a lot of time
yeah, and take it
at all.
because Bert's just stressing about the hill constantly. So I know that makes it
Yeah,
harder a little to slay because that's his job. But
100%.
if we can get Bert out in the open slaying a little more and get Chase a little
Yeah.
more on hill, I think that would be very beneficial.
And we'll wrap up at the top three KDs in the season so far. I'm in the one slot, 1.78. Wheezy, 1.6, and then you with the 1.51.
See, I'm shocked I'm at a
Who's the,
1.51 with how much hill time
yeah,
I'm getting. That's kind of
yeah, you're playing a lot more than we are. I think about 20, 25 more seconds than me on average, which is like, it doesn't sound like a lot, bro, but like,
it's a
it
decent bit.
is. It really is. Yeah, it's a good bit. Let's check in the lowest KDs in the season.
Oh, are we putting people
Bert
on
has a
blast?
point 0.4. I am. Bert has a point 0.4, but he averages, 2 minutes and 35 seconds on the hill. We'll let it slide.
If we can get
Mutineers
him to
literally
a
all
point
point
five,
nines, bro.
dude, if we can get Bert to like a point 0.5, point 0.6, we're gonna be slamming teams.
Yeah. And then Mike and Steve, point 0.5, 0.56, those are the other two lowest. But we're vibing. The Mutineers camp, not Mutineers. The Legion camp is we're having a good time. I'm just saying, we're having a good time. We had a good time yesterday. Even when we lost, we are like, oh, dude, that's tough. But like, we played well. We were happy. We're like,
No,
dude, that
y'all
was kind
played
of close.
crazy.
Like, we were like, that was kind of cool. I think Mike's finally getting the like he texted yesterday. He was like, I'm actually enjoying. Like, I actually enjoyed playing, which is I think is a big part of it. Last season I know they went like 0-7 and no, like 1-6. I don't know, bro. They didn't win
Yeah, their last
a
stage they got
lot,
bent over the whole. I think they had
and
one win.
and they got slammed most of the time too, right?
Oh, dude, they got bullied.
So I think just being competitive again probably is going to help Mintz out for sure. Um, I think Stevie once he lowers that 10-10 sensitivity down some to maybe a 7-7,
10-10?
8-8. He plays
Holy
on Men
crap.
Steve plays on 10-10 and Mintz plays on 8-8. So you know how it always be like Steve be snapping sometimes.
He does
He
snap,
was playing
dude.
on 10-10. He was playing on 10-10. That's why he'd be snapping sometimes.
Dude, I can't. Like, I play on a 4-4, like
Yeah, bro.
slow, like really accurate. But I mean, he's still
Hmm.
turned fast enough. 4-4 is faster than you think it is.
Yeah, I play 4-4 and just go around slaying people, bro.
Yeah. All the top players play 4-4. I know that's what the most of the pros are right around there.
Most pros like 5 to 7. I don't
Yeah.
think any pro runs the 4 at this
Oh,
point.
I think Shotzi
Think,
ran 4-4. That's why I put it on.
oh really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I watched his vid and he said 4-4.
That's kind of wild.
So
No
that's why I
lie.
put that on. And you see his movement, so I'm like, if he can do that, then I can do
Yeah,
something.
for sure, bro. But let's talk about the matches for next week.
Okay, yeah, then we'll wrap up because we're at an hour right now.
Yeah. Whew. Um,
Yeah, we've been talking.
so I'll take mine first. We play Texas. Shout out Kamish, TJ. Um, one of the I think all like Mark has 1.45, Hank 0.95, Tej 1.0. Plus they're 0 and 2, bro. So like the talent's there. They just I'm not gonna say unlucky, but like that first series they definitely could have won, and that second series they definitely could have won for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, they're definitely. It's like they play to the level of their competition,
Which is exciting for me.
but just. Oh, I did. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's
You hope they
fantastic
do,
news for
because then
me.
you're gonna have a field day.
Yeah. Um, Looking at the KDs, um, Mark seems to struggle in Surge quite a bit.
Yeah, that's
Um,
weird, because he slammed people last stage.
yeah, he has a 1.46 in hardpoint, 1.63 control, but only a 1.17 in S&D, which sounds really good, a 1.17, but like comparatively, that's not what you're trying to see out of him.
In which game mode he has a 1 point? Oh, S&D?
Yeah, 1.17 is not the
Yeah, where
best.
he's a superstar, you want to see that bumped up
Yeah,
drastically. And
though
it sounds like
I
we're
want like the
coming at
yeah,
him, but
but
I mean, as good as he is,
a
what? I have a
lot of things.
1.4.
Yeah, if Mark's gonna be considered in that tier with me, you and Weezy, um, like let me check out everybody
Yeah,
else's.
me and Weezy
I
have
mean,
like both 1.47s, or I have a 1.42, he has a
yeah,
1, and then you have probably way higher than that after your. No, you have a 1.42. So yeah, we're all in that 1.4 range, the top.
uh-huh. That's something that he'll have to, I think, get better at. However, the S&Ds we're playing against them, we're playing Embassy S&D and Mercado S&D, which I would have to say is probably my two best S&Ds, assuming it goes to map 2 Embassy. Um, and I know they're going to be doing their homework on us, a decent bit, so we are prepared for that, I think. Um, and then map 1 is the Mercado hardpoint, which we talked about already. Um, I think if I can just get them to sit on hill, one of them to sit on hill, and being able to just kind of like protect around them, that would be something that can go our way.
It can. I'm gonna be honest. I think Optic for your team might be the hardest like challenge, like just because they have three really good players that can all pop off at
Definitely,
any moment.
if Tej and Hank like play up to par, like they'll be fine, I
Yeah,
think.
you gotta anticipate
Um,
TJ on the sub again because that's what he ran versus us, and it was completely different. TJ.
I'll be fine with that. I'm cool with the sub.
Okay,
See, I
okay.
think I can run whenever, whatever. But if Tej plays like he did in that first series, which is not like him,
I think y'all are winning
we'll
if he
win.
does that.
Yeah. If one of them does that, we win, I think. I think the disparity between me and Mark, no shots here, no disrespect. I think I'll be able to outslay him by a decent bit. So if Hank or T is just like stooped down to like a point 0.7 or point 0.8, I feel like we'll be in a good position to win. But if not, it'll be definitely hard to beat them because all of them can shoot pretty straight and they have really good game sense.
Yeah, you're gonna need if they play like they did yesterday against us, I think y'all can beat them because they were playing at a different level yesterday. I mean, you think how bad the series was the first week, and then they still averaged up to a point 0.5.
They clutched up. Um, well, not clutch. We didn't clutch up. We didn't win, but they got better. Like
No, that's
that's the second.
significant difference.
Yeah, that's the second time I've spawned in with them. So like compared to everybody else, we're getting better. We're getting there.
Honestly,
But
if you would have won that Albagra, we were literally shaking in our boots, going like we were scared
I think we win them at 5,
going
and
to.
especially what happened the other day. And eights or eights, of course, right? Eights or eights or tens, whatever we did. But like I think my Mercado S&D prowess kind of showed there a little bit. And I'm not gonna say I was in your head with it a little bit, but like
You mean
you would have been thinking.
embassy?
Now I'm talking about like when we played eights the other day on Mercado,
Oh,
and like your team was team killing and everything. We won 6-0, and then you fried us in respawns, but we don't talk about that. I feel like that kind of showed like how good I can be at Mercado search, which again is tooting my own horn and everything, but I think we probably we're a really good Mercado team,
Oh,
I feel like.
I think that was tens, dude. I don't even know what was happening. You were
It
fine, but
was
I don't know
tense. It
what
was
was
tense.
going on in
It
that
was
because my
tense.
team
We
was
were just
just
we were just
killing each
like,
other.
yeah, bro. And we were gonna do the same thing, bro. Like, no doubt in my mind, we are just gonna send three up mid at some point, and then we're gonna catch somebody and they lose full.
Yeah, I
That was
think
the
that was
plan.
me that got caught because I looked up and it was like a
Yeah,
firing squad. I just saw three people. I was or four. I don't know. I just saw guns, and I was like,
yeah.
deleted.
But I think will be a good matchup against us. That could honestly be a game five. I don't think any particular map is gonna be a blowout either way. That's
Yeah, I
just how
don't think
Optic
so.
likes it, to be honest, at this point. You
They
know?
like close 3-2s.
Yeah. So we'll talk about wrap up this podcast with the Thieves versus Mutineers matchup. You talk about it.
Um, is
It's the map set.
oh we have Mercado Hardpoint, Mercado S&D, Hotel Control, Embassy Hardpoint, and Fortress S&D. So, I mean, I don't want to toot our own horn, but I really like the map choices we got. Considering, I mean, they're a good team. They're scrappy, so I expect them to play. But that Mercado Hardpoint, what we just did to you on your best map, I really like it.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be. I don't know why they're chowing you on that to be out. Well, it's either that or Hydro, so it's kind of pick your poison.
Yeah, they banned Hydro. True, because I feel like
Yeah.
Hydro would have really favored us as well.
So Mercado is definitely one you can. I mean, you can get full 60s by just getting one or two wipes sometimes, I feel like. So
Yeah. It depends on
they
if we
can get a
rotate and
lucky.
get set up. Because if we get rotate and get
Yeah.
set up, it's going to be a bad day for them. But if they
And
rotate and we
Mute.
can't break, then it's going to be bad for us. So,
I feel like it's gonna go. Florida's gonna have to realize, all right, they're gonna outslay us, so we have to rotate, kind of thing. So I think they're gonna rotate probably before you all a lot more, and you're gonna be forced to break a lot more. And in my opinion, I think you're gonna be able to. So I think the hard point goes your way. Uh,
it's
Mutineers played
possible.
the search really well yesterday, though, against a breach squad that is really good. So
See, that's where they're really good at Mercado, but I know we beat Optic on Mercado. And I mean, it's a scrim, but when we scrimmed Mutineers on Mercado, I went 14-1 in an S&D. So, I mean, if I can do that, then I don't see them beating us. But if I don't do that and Chase and Burt play like they did that map, then they can definitely beat us. So we just can't hesitate. We have to win a round because if you've seen what happens if we don't win a round early, we go down over.
bro, if you win a round in the first three rounds, it's already like an automatic win for you at this point.
I
You just
hope
gotta get
so.
a win in the first
I
three.
know, God, but
So what's the control y'all picked again? Sorry.
um, hotel and the Mercado we got to contain Weed and Lane because they popped off twice in it in back-to-back series. So if we contain them, but if we don't, we're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, I think the map pool. I think map one favors you all quite a bit. Um, and I'm not gonna say like Juniors are gonna win it, but I think that's a map they're definitely comfortable on in Search and Destroy,
Yeah,
which is like I feel like it's half the battle. If I feel like if you're like good, if you think you're good at a map, you're gonna play it better. You know what I mean?
yeah, the control is actually concerning because Bert absolutely hates a silo and he can't do anything on a silo besides the one round good round he had. So I think he had 6 kills in 5 rounds. And I mean it's hard with a sub. So we kind of had
Yeah.
to adjust to go to hotel. And he popped off yesterday in control. Like he was playing really well. So I like that for him. But when we played Mutineers in the scrims in control, I think they beat us 3-0. So that's kind of concerning.
Yeah.
you know, but I mean, control's
See.
usually a toss up. But if
Yeah.
I was
I
going to
mean
give
like
them a map, it's going to be that one for sure.
yeah. The map four is what?
Embassy Hardpoint.
So what map did you ban, Hotel? Hardpoint?
Yeah, we're not playing Hotel Hardpoint.
So your pick was Mercado.
Yeah, and they
Okay.
picked Embassy.
Interesting that I'm about to say, usually teams would think you pick four, but we talked about it already. You got to evolve as a team sometimes. So four's
Yeah.
not your forte anymore. I feel like you all are smart to be like, hey, let's not just ego everybody on what we thought we were good at, and let's just go with based off of how we actually played.
Yeah, it's kind of, you had to be a little humble because I know Fortress is my best map, but if it's just so chaotic for Chase and Bert, and then it makes it chaotic for me, like it's just not. And then if I can get them settled in and me settled in, it's, you just gotta play to your strengths. And we're not gonna be a team that on a tight, chaotic maps, that's gonna be hard for us.
Yeah. I think that's good for you all though. Because like if you play for it, hardpoint again, you're not gonna be like mad about it at all. You're gonna be like, oh, okay, bet, like it's for hardpoint, you know?
Yeah, we still love it, but
Yeah.
we're also
I
testing
feel
our
like that's
map
like really
pool
good for you all.
to try to,
Yeah.
for to see what our best maps are.
hmm
They
I feel like that's a smart thing to do against Florida. They're
yeah,
just
they
consistent on all the maps, I feel like. So like
yeah, and we
but
feel
I don't
Embassy.
think they have like a super strong map. They just like across the board are decent at all the maps. They don't have like a Mercado for you or a Fort for me, especially in respawns.
Yeah, and we feel Embassy. We thought that was actually our strongest map going into Optic. Because even we had beaten everyone pretty handily on Embassy, even Optic during scrims.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if the chaos. I don't think it was my thumbsticks, given that's an issue, but I'm still
Yeah.
frying. Like, but I just think if we just a few timely kills and setups earlier and better comms, Embassy can easily be our best map as well. So, but I mean, if they're rotating and playing well, they can easily beat us on it too.
Yeah. I think that'll wrap up our first podcast though, will it?
Yeah, sounds good. We have that Fortress S&D, and that can go either way.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Fort
just
us.
gonna
We
say.
haven't seen that. Have we seen that in the league so far? This stage.
I don't think this stage, besides in the tens,
Yeah,
and I think
we
it was
have
a
not seen it.
showdown between me and you. I think I dropped 18 and you dropped
Yeah.
15 or 16 in search. So
Yeah.
that kind of I was happy with that pick if it goes to a map five. But
hmm If it goes to map five, Fort S&D is I think it's fun to watch, but not fun to play. So I'm excited to watch it and see how it unfolds. But I would definitely would not want to play it
yeah, it's
against you, especially.
I love it to be honest. But there's also games I've had where I've absolutely hated it because you're just it's a hard map to play because there's literally like 3 lanes or 2 lanes really, and then you go bottom and it's just a prayer.
Timings can just work against you, and you can't do anything about it sometimes.
Yeah, but they definitely can take the series from us. Like it's possible.
Again, we've talked about it. It's probably the most competitive this league has been in a long time.
Yeah, we got to keep this league going. Next year is gonna be
Yes,
fun
sir.
with Ninja and Red Dots.
I
And
will be.
if we
Though,
get a few more, like we can even bring in another team or two, and did imagine
yeah,
8 teams
that'd
with
be great.
threes,
Casey the Conqueror come back, you know?
all even teams.
hmm And most importantly, mostly even teams.
Yeah, even teams for
But
sure. No
yeah.
super stacked teams.
hmm But that will wrap it up for our first podcast, WV's threes. Um, I think it went pretty well. What do you think?
I think it was good. Our first episode, kind of long, kind of dragged on, but I mean we'll adjust
Yeah,
that as time goes
yeah.
and get
Especially
more
well, especially
experience.
because the first segment we were just recapping the first 3 weeks kind of thing. So
Yeah, so this one's probably going to be longer than any other
yeah,
episode, but if we can do this once or
that's
twice a
true.
week, we can even talk about different things going on
Oh, we
outside
could.
of our league or
Oh yeah.
hypotheticals or
Mm-hmm.
definitely like to bring some guests on. We'll
Oh, for
figure those
sure.
out. We're not going to do
Mm-hmm.
probably more than 2 other people because then it gets
Yeah, it's
really
chaotic.
chaotic. So just like 1 or 2 guests an episode or us alone on some episodes. We'll see. Just getting started.
We'll figure it out. We'll have fun.
But yeah, I think that's
All
gonna do
right.
it.
We're gonna be signing off. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll
One
come up with
thing
another episode probably next week. Go ahead.
I wanted to say the standings right before we tuned off, and right now the standings as of week 3. LA Thieves with a 9-3 map count are 3-0. Boston Breach 6-4 map count are 2-1. Mutineers 4-5 map count 1-1. Optic 4-6 map count 0-2, and Vegas at a 1-6 map count 0-2. So I'm excited to see how that changes.
Yes, sir.
I don't think there'll be an undefeated team this year.
Not at all, especially because we play you all again eventually.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all right. I had to have one jab in there, you
It's
know?
all good. It's all good. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. So we'll see who we have on next
Sure.
week's. So have a good one.
We shall see y'all in the next one.